Good evening. Today is September 14th. The Steelers narrowly escaped Cincinnati with a victory. Good grief. So let's break it down. Let's talk Steelers. Let's go. So, what's up, everyone? How's it going? What's up, everyone? Hello, welcome to the first ever episode of Talking Steelers on this channel. My name is Jeff. With me is my cousin Mike, his daughter Michelle. I call her my niece, even though she's technically my cousin, but I call her my niece. Mike's my cousin, but I call him my brother. So, we're all the same family. We're all the same blood. So, here we are. So, well, shoot, man. Let's just dive right into this. Week one,
where do we begin, right?
Steelers at Bengals. Tough way to start the season, facing the Super Bowl runner-up on the road. Weird weather, like cold, gray, rainy at the beginning, and then suddenly the sun came out. So, I don't know what was going on there. So, anyway, that's that. So, to start it off, let's start with kind of the easy stuff. What did you see that you liked out of the game? What did you see that you liked?
Mike, I know for
me,
you could probably. I was just going to say the defense was absolutely I liked. There's no doubt the defense came to play. The whole game, basically. I thought they'd really get tired and get worn down by the end, and they still really hung in. They gave a couple plays there at the end and stuff like that. But then again, that's when TJ had left the game, and I think there was a couple other injuries in there. Hayward had left for a little bit. I think he left too.
That was a bummer when TJ went out.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I think Spillane got hurt there. Levi Wallace got hurt. Mm-hmm. So he had left. Their key corner. So, a whole game they hung in. To me, I thought the defense just played the whole way. And
yeah,
Minkah especially. What can you say about him? My gosh. Unbelievable.
He earned his contract in the first play the Bengals ran. He picked six that sucker.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeff? I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Yeah. What you think, Michelle? What'd you like?
Same thing. Defense. They literally ran the whole game. They kept us in that game, basically. That's the only reason we won that game.
I feel like this is like the third year of that philosophy of us going – of us sitting there going, God, boy, if it wasn't for our stout defense, then we would have lost. But I feel like we say that all the time.
You're right. For 3 years we've been saying it. Same thing,
Yeah. Eventually he's not going to have it like that, right?
I hope. You would think. I know Trubisky said today, that O's got to be more aggressive. He said that, they can't continue. You can't take your foot off the pedal. They were up 14 or 17 points, whatever it was, 14.
17-3.
Yeah, left them back in the game. He said you can't do that. Personally, I wasn't impressed with Trubisky's play all the way around.
I wasn't overly impressed either. He didn't turn the ball over, so
no, he didn't.
That's a big deal. He got away with a couple throws that probably should have been turnovers, in my opinion. But he made that huge throw to Muth in overtime was a big play.
That was big.
He missed the deep throw to Pickens, and then Deontay bailed him out on that one-handed grab there that Deontay hit. So,
yep.
I don't know, man. Mitch did what we needed him to do up to a point, but the running game is what is going to be the downfall, in my opinion.
Definitely.
The running game is so bad. Look at this.
Yep.
Najee Harris, 10 carries, 23 yards. Claypool was the leading rusher.
Wow.
He had 36 yards rushing, and he led the team by 13 yards.
My God. And he only had 6 carries. You know what I mean?
So what? It wasn't like close. It wasn't like, well, he got a long run. He eked him by a yard. I mean, he was 13 more yards than our starting running back.
Now, having said that, the 49ers, what do they do with Deebo Samuel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that something you can do with Claypool? Maybe, I don't know.
Deebo is like a freak, man. I don't see that from Chase. Yeah. Now, if Chase will embrace his inner, freak, and let it come out with his athletic freak and let it come out. Yep. I mean, he probably would be, but I don't know. He doesn't.
That, but
he falls down too easy. Doesn't really snatch balls out of the air.
Nope.
I don't know. There's those jet sweeps with him. The funny thing is you ever notice that all those jet sweeps that we run with Claypool, that we never play action, we never fake any of them?
No.
We've never once faked a jet sweep that I can remember, because the defense knows that we're not going to fake it. So it seems like it'd be an easy, almost a ride and decide, where you fake it to him and somebody could be coming underneath, out to the left, and you can just dump it over there to him, because the whole defense is going to follow Chase, because we never faked that play ever, not even once that I can remember.
And what did the announcer say throughout the game? If you heard and remembered, they were saying that the Bengals defense is playing up the whole game. They were saying, we're gonna play in the box. You're not gonna do nothing, and they didn't.
You can't run. Your line is not good enough to keep us off, and that was the truth.
Right.
I mean, Najee had 4 carries in the first half.
That's terrible. Yeah, you can't.
How do you get in any kind of rhythm if you're a running back with 4 carries?
Right. Exactly.
And then his foot got turned around, and then he was a gimp after that. He was on the gimp after that. But
right.
But I didn't get the 4 first half carries. I mean, it's like it's the same offense as the last 3 years, even though we've had 2 different coordinators.
Right. Well, if you look at the time of possession too, I don't know if you look at that at all. I don't know if you can even put that up on your screen there, but the time possession,
I can find it.
I think the Bengals had it oh my gosh, they had 43 minutes, and we had 26 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I was like, wow, because that's the side I looked at. I was like, well, no wonder, right there it is. Barely had the ball again.
It's amazing when you win games sometimes.
Yeah. But think about
sometimes
it.
I'm like,
they had that goal line stand, right?
Yeah.
And they get the ball back, and they went out in 20 seconds. They literally gave them the ball right back. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't move.
What was funny is there was a minute left in the game, and the Bengals punted away, and we got it, and then we were on the phone it doesn't matter. They're gonna get the ball back in 25 seconds. There's a minute and 40 left. They'll just run 3 plays, punt, because they're gonna get the ball back in 20 seconds.
Yep.
And what does Pittsburgh do? Run, incomplete pass, give them a free timeout, stop the clock, run, stuff, no gain, punt. I mean, it was and we gave them a timeout with a terrible second down pass.
Exactly.
I just don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. They should have closed that game after the goal line stand. That game should have been closed out.
Yeah.
They should have closed it out right
Cincinnati gave us 6 opportunities to win that game.
Yep. Absolutely.
No. They said, nah.
Absolutely.
Not going to do it. So, and then I don't know how Minka blocked that field goal.
Or
that extra point, because, when Chase scored with no time left, after they called Minka for what was it, roughing on that one incomplete pass, they threw a personal foul on him.
Yeah. So how many unsportsmanlike conduct penalties did Minka have? 3 in that one.
Yeah.
On that one series.
Yes.
It was
all in a row.
But you know what should have been called unsportsmanlike conduct? Jamar Chase stuck the middle.
Oh, lobbing birds?
Oh, yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. Flipping the bird.
Yeah.
Never called it.
Flipping birds. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All once.
Stay classy, Jamar. Stay classy, Jamar. Straight from Baton Rouge.
Yep. Beautiful, right?
So to answer your question, Michael, Cincinnati had the ball 43 minutes and 42 seconds. Pittsburgh had it 26 minutes and 18 seconds. I wish I could get the splits on half by half. I bet the second half we didn't have the ball, but, there's no way we had the ball more than 10 minutes in the second half.
We didn't.
Mhm.
No.
I'm telling you, the third quarter was. I don't think the Steelers had the ball, but maybe once the whole third quarter. Quick. Like you said, the third quarter's over already. It was that fast. They didn't even have the ball.
I just don't get it.
If you can't possess the ball and you can't sustain any kind of drive, you're not going to win. They only won basically because of the turnovers.
Yeah.
You know.
What's up, Shane Ray? My buddy tuning in on LinkedIn.
Yeah, sure.
That's old school, man. That's my old school friend. That's many years ago.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, that was. I mean, I'm always happy to have a win. I mean, I hate to roll around being ticked off, because how bad we look, but we got to win. So we've got okay. Right. Defense played great. Forced 5 turnovers. Somehow took us 5 full quarters to beat a team that we turned over 5 times. But
right.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
So, but it was what I didn't like was I don't know, man. I'm trying to, it's only week 1, but all the dancing in the locker room and Tomlin walking off the field with that grin on his face and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's like
a little premature.
We got so lucky to get out of there with a win, but they're just acting like it's. I mean, they're just like. Hey, dancing, doing all these A/B dances in the locker room and stuff. And I'm just like, man, you guys should be embarrassed, dude. I mean, you went on the road and won a game, but, I mean, that was pitiful. That was a pathetic offensive performance. Right. And all the I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being too harsh because it's week 1.
No, I get it. I mean, my theory is, yes, it's a little premature to be dancing. However, you did go into Cincinnati and get a win, no matter how it came out. You got to win.
That's true.
That's true.
They went in and got a win. And, Tomlin is Tomlin is who he is. But I will say this. He finds ways to win these ugly games against pretty good teams. Now, if we were to play the Jaguars next week, they would either beat us or it would take everything we had to beat them like 17-14.
I'm smiling because she knows exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, because it would. The teams that were like that we go into, we're like, oh, well, this is going to be a blowout. We struggle. Yeah. I think Tomlin's got a sub 500 record versus teams with losing records over his 15, 16 years and 16 years, I guess.
Now, as good as they look, against Cincinnati, well, I shouldn't say good as they look, but I mean, you get a win, and then you come this week, you think, okay, you got New England coming in, should be a win, and then they come out and they lay an egg. They play bad. Yeah. I'm not that New England's terrible, but, should be a win.
They're not.
Even though they're not the favored.
Are we at home?
Yeah.
We're home, yeah.
We're home this weekend?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, they should beat the Patriots. The Patriots look terrible against the Dolphins, but rarely you see the Pats look bad 2 weeks in a row. But that was always because Tom Brady was the quarterback.
I did see that they didn't know if Mac Jones was going to play, but I think he's going to play now.
I think he is. They said his back's better, so I think he'll play.
Oh, did he get hurt? Did Matt get hurt?
After the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he walked in the locker room, got an X-ray, but he was negative. He said his back's better, I guess. So.
Man, I had to back a meat wagon up to the field to haul everybody for the Steelers off.
Wow, I couldn't believe how many injuries. I was like, they were just dropping like flies there in the fourth quarter.
I mean, it was like TJ came off, the next play, you see Cam Hayward's like on hands and knees. And I'm going, oh, that's great. 2 best defensive players gone. Yep. Back-to-back plays.
I think Hayward came back, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, he came in. The Mason Cole, I thought his season was over. He was laying on the ground, and there was like 10 people around him and stuff. And I'm like, that's it for him. They haul him out of here. That's the end of that. And then a couple series later, he was back in there.
I know. That was shocking.
I was like, okay.
He was limited today, by the way, in the injury report.
He was limited?
Mason Cole was limited. Najee was limited. And Levi Wallace was limited. So they practiced a little bit. So at least that's a good sign.
Well, all signs point to Najee playing, but, I mean, he can't be 100. I mean, he can't be close to 100%. His foot got turned around.
No.
I mean, and the line is just awful.
Right.
I mean, it was.
Well,
the tackles did not have a good game. Chooks or Dan Moore didn't have a very good game. Exactly. Cincinnati does have a pretty good pass rush. So, I kind of expected that. But then again, everybody knows how to defend this offense. It's no different. Right. It's the same.
Same thing.
It's the absolute same.
Run the ball, stack the box.
No.
That's it.
So it's all quick passes, and, they keep rolling Mitch out to the left, so he has to throw across his body. Right. I'm not sure why, but I don't know why every play has to be, shotgun, sprint draw as a run. I don't know why we can't mix in under center handoff with a blocking fullback every now and then, or a student body or something, or just mix it up. It just seems like every running play is the same. So they all just cave the middle, just right there on the guard center guard. They just pack there, and Najee has nowhere to go. And then the second half, he had that run. They had that 11-yard run for a first down. He didn't run again for I don't know how many plays till he even touched the ball again.
How many series was Jay? I think he might have been banged up even before that.
Maybe.
Well,
Jalen Warren was in.
But they did say Najee was dealing with that same foot injury since camp.
Yeah.
So, because he was like
rank or whatever it was, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a list. So I think he was already hobbling a little bit because that Warren was in for a couple of series. We're like, where the heck is Najee? He wasn't even in the game.
Where's Najee? Because they had yeah.
They love that Jalen Warren. I mean, I didn't see anything that made me think if Najee gets hurt, we'll be okay.
And that's another thing. I've said that from day one, way back. He did not address the running back position at all. Did not address it. There it is. There's Najee leaving the game, and you're there with an undrafted rookie as your backup. Not going to work. Not going to work.
I don't get it.
I mean, I don't understand.
I don't understand that. I don't know. Maybe they saw something in the kid that, because Benny Snell didn't get a single play at running back.
No.
McFarland's in the practice squad. Benny Snell's like special teams guy now.
Running back barely.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't address it. There was a lot of veteran running backs out there that they could have picked up as insurance.
Yeah.
Didn't do it. And
they must like the group they got, but I don't know. It's just it doesn't really seem like it matters though who the running back is because they can't block anyone.
True.
And there's no real deception. There's no play actions. No. There's no misdirections.
Right.
Najee caught that pass for a touchdown. But they didn't use him in but like you said, Michelle, he could be lingering, dealing with a foot which might be bothering him all year or
I think that's what it is. I think even though he says he's good to go and all the tests were negative, it still bothers him.
A running back with a foot injury, that's gonna be a tough play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand one thing too is in the play calling. I know that a lot of their teams, if you notice that, it's like short, third and short or whatever. You'll see a lot of sneaks or stuff like that. The Steelers are one of the two teams that does not do that at all. Now, I understand when Ben was there, not okay, but even there, he could. He's a big guy. He could have leaned in.
Trubisky's mobile. I didn't like how he played, but he's mobile.
He can move. I mean, Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson or any of them, but he can
move enough. He can move well enough to escape that initial surge of pressure because they're on him quick. He didn't have a lot of time to plant his back foot, survey, go through his progressions. He didn't have that kind of time. He's plant foot, and it's oh shit, now, he's got to run, he's got to move, he's got to roll, he's got to duck. It's not he doesn't get to check his reads. He doesn't get to one read, two read, check down. He doesn't have time for that.
No.
By the time he gets down to the check down piece, he's already run for his life. He's already hit. It's the offense is no different. that I've seen.
I was going to say it.
Now, he did avoid.
I was going to say it looks like you said the exact same as last year. It doesn't look like there was any changes. Like now we can see the problem was never Ben. The problem was never Ben. I mean, yeah, in a way it was because he couldn't move, but
yeah, I mean he was a big part of the problem, but that combined with the terrible offensive line was multiplied the problem, which we alleviated some of that with Trubisky's athleticism, and he's quite a bit younger, in better shape, his athleticism. But I mean, they signed a couple linemen. I mean, I thought James Daniels was just going to be a road grader, but I mean, he didn't wow me.
No.
Granted, it's his first week, first time playing in a game with this group of linemen. I know that offensive line needs time to gel, to play with each other, to kind of get each other's rhythms and that kind of thing. And they didn't get a whole lot of time. Just 3 preseason games isn't a lot. So I think that unit has a maybe chance to get better now. I don't have extremely high hopes because they hired the offensive line coach of the worst offensive line in the league the last 2 years in Carolina.
Yeah,
and so we ran out and hired him first thing, and the season was over. Yep. We ran out and hired him, and I'm like, I don't know. So, but
yeah, you're right. It's a good point. They do have a chance of getting better. I think. Is Dan Moore the answer at that spot? I don't think so. To be honest with you,
didn't he have a lot of holding calls? I think he had like 2 holding calls.
He did. He did.
Did he have 2?
He's right. He had a couple holding penalties, a lot.
Mm-hmm. Chooks could have had a couple because that Henriksen guy was blowing past him.
He really was. Like you said, Trubisky didn't have time to throw. Now, he did avoid a few sacks that Ben would not have been able to.
Yeah.
He would have been robbed
That's
right
true.
there.
Although Ben was so hard to tackle that he
was.
Just never know with Ben. I'll tell you what, though. I tell you what. I do believe had Ben been the quarterback, either in the fourth quarter or overtime, he would have thrown a pick.
Yep.
Ben just had that knack, as good as he was, to throw a pick at the worst time.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's ever a great time to throw a pick, but
no,
he just. There would be so many times where I'd be on the phone with y'all, and he would throw a pick, and I just would fall down in the chair.
Just lose it.
And then I would get excited because I knew Mike would have a reaction to it, and that's really the best part about it.
Or at the end of the half. How many times has Ben at the end of the half?
Oh, God.
Like, come on. Oh,
wait, no, and we'd be on like the 20-yard line. So it's like, all right, take a shot in the end zone, and then we'll kick a field goal. And then you throw a pick.
What are you doing? Come on. That's what I mean.
I can't do it with this guy anymore.
Notorious for that. No.
Notorious.
No, that was it. He really was. So, I mean, you're right.
Oh, man. That used to drive me nuts.
He didn't turn it over. He did. Oh, that drove me nuts.
I mean, it'd be like, all right, just throw it away, and then we'll kick an easy field goal, and we'll go in the locker room only down 3. And then Ben would roll out, and he would pump, pick in the end zone. And I'd just be like, God, Tom!
I know.
Here's a stat. Here's a stat from Sunday that had Mike in tears. At one point in the game Sunday, Pittsburgh average yards to go on third down was 3. We were 0 for 4 on third down conversions.
That's absolutely hilarious. Like I said, you can't make that up.
I was like, that had to have been a typo. That's got to be average yards to go 13, right?
Right. How can you not get 3 yards?
How can you out of 4 times not get 3 yards?
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Their play calling is they get down to 2nd and 3, and he or 3rd and 3, whatever. He'll throw a 2-yard route.
Yeah, and then 4th down in inches. And they'll measure it and they'll stand up and go like this.
Yeah, 4th down, and of course Tomlin's going to punt.
Tomlin's going to punt. That guy's not scared to punt.
They can't get that yard. I don't understand. You have Najee Harris, probably a workhorse back, and they don't use him. But they can't because the line can't block for him.
Well, you know what I would like to see is some over the tops on those goal lines. Like let Najee leap.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy can leap.
Yeah.
The guy can hurdle grown men.
Let him do what he can do.
Let him dive over.
I mean,
once you dive, that's it. They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, once you elevate over, all you got to do is stretch the ball. So, I mean, they're like right there. They never do it. Never do it. It's up the middle, or they'll run a play action. They'll pass to Derek Watt or something. But I don't like our red zone play calling. But
when I saw
all the stuff,
Alabama, and he made
yeah.
When
he jumped that Notre Dame guy.
But oh my gosh! I mean, they're right there and there, and I was like, they got to draft him. That's it. That's it. It was sold to me.
You know, we're still taking flack for that draft pick too, just because he's, he has so many just kind of average to bad games that we're taking some flack now for
but I think it's
drafting him in the first round.
But they needed a running back.
They didn't do anything really in the draft or anywhere other than signing Cole and James Daniels. That's the only two things they did on the offensive line. They really didn't. They didn't draft anyone.
Right.
No. I was wanting us to take the center in the draft this year. I mean, that's who I wanted us to take. Was that I guess the Ravens got him, of course, Louderbaum or something like that, or
Ravens,
Linderbaum.
Yeah,
Tyler. From
Tyler Linderbaum or something. That's who I wanted us to draft right there in that first round pick, and I think we could have gotten Pickett 2 rounds later.
We could have, but they were set. They were set. If Pickett was there, they were drafting him.
Yeah.
I mean, every other quarterback just tumbling like a snowball, and I mean, we plunged on him, but he looked good in the preseason, and then Pittsburgh released that depth chart, the initial depth chart right before week 1, and it had Mason as the backup.
Yeah.
Michael, me and my buddy Nick got in the biggest text argument over this, over that, and it was a healthy debate, but we both got really ticked at each other because I was freaking out about it, and his philosophy was that he thought that they were elevating Mason to 2 on the depth chart to increase his trade value before they moved him, and I was like, that is lunacy. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. But they don't dress 3 quarterbacks. They never dress 3 quarterbacks.
No.
So then I was like, well, if he's the number 2, then Pickett's not going to dress. So then if Mitch goes down, Mason's going to be the guy, and that's not. No, we're not doing that. He thought they were trying to elevate his trade value. I thought they were just out of their mind. And then Tomlin said the next day that it was a typo, and so. Neither one of us were. Neither one of us were right, but me and him, and I've known him for. He's one of my best friends this whole world, and he and I were just like, we were getting pretty intense on that text discussion. And I'm like, wow, I'm about to lose a friendship over Mason Rudolph, and so I changed the subject, and I was like, all right, a subject we can agree on, and then I started talking about something else.
I saw that, and I was like, exactly. What? I couldn't believe that they had Mason Rudolph listed as a backup.
Oh my gosh, dude. When I saw that, I was like, what?
How are they going to draft Kenny Pickett?
I was like,
what?
Have him just not third string.
Sit.
Yeah, and let him not even dress.
Yeah.
Believe that.
And he played so good in the preseason. He led us on
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think
thinking of the preseason, okay, he's not ready,
Yeah.
But
he showed me enough that I think he can play.
Yeah, I think
I think so too. I mean, I don't know if he's out.
I mean, he can play.
Of course, is what he says. He's going to wait. He wants him to play all year, but I don't know that's going to happen.
Yeah,
he's going to play all year. I really don't know.
See, part of me is like, all right, throw the kid in there. Let's see if he can run. Let's see what he can do. But the offensive line is so bad that I don't want to. I don't want to kill him in the first year. Like, have him get the crap knocked out of him. Like, I don't want to go through that.
No. Yeah. He's your future. He's your franchise right there. Trubisky's not
he's the future.
He's just a gap. Yeah. So, right. I think you're right. I should just stick with Trubisky unless he absolutely plays awful or gets hurt, of course.
Yeah.
But
I hope he doesn't get hurt. Like, I'm not hoping he gets hurt. No. I mean, I would like for Mitch to play well enough that he plays all year. Like, if Mitch starts all 17 games or 16 out of the 17 games, I think we're going to have a good year. I mean, that means we've had a decent year. I think if we get to the point where Pickett's going to start, then that either means that Mitch got hurt or we're out of it, and the Steelers are just going to see if he can play.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense in my opinion. Just see if the guy can play.
Yeah. Well, if you guys remember,
he showed me in the preseason that he can play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he definitely can. I mean, now again, granted, it wasn't with Stringer.
I mean, it was preseason. Most of those guys are not even in the league anymore. They're in a practice squad or they're working at Boscov's or somewhere. But he's and also they don't scheme in the preseason. I don't think they put a lot of defensive schemes and plans in the preseason. I think it's a lot of just kind of working out kinks and whatnot. Because I mean, Mitch looked fantastic in the preseason, and then he looked average at best Sunday, save for a few throws he made. Like, that throw to Freiermuth was clutch. Like, that was a big time throw in overtime. Like, that was a nice throw. The two balls that Gentry caught were nice throws. I mean, he made some nice throws. But I didn't see this play, but I heard somebody talking about it on the message board that he overthrew Pickens. Did I read that right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Was it a deep ball? Was he open?
It was. I'm pretty sure it was a deep ball, and he was open, and he completely overthrew him because he would have gotten him, but he overthrew him.
Yeah.
You know what? He also overthrew Boykin too, if you remember.
That's right. Because I remember going, who in the heck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, who is that? That was Boykin. He overthrew him.
Yeah.
And had him deep.
I remember that now. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, Miles Boykin?
Yep. From the Ravens.
What's his name? Malik Reed. And we were like, who in the heck is number 50? I'm like scrolling my phone on the team roster.
Guess what? He's going to be playing this week. He has to.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so hold up. I'm going to bring in my buddy Scott. He's a big Steeler fan. Fonzie.
Hey guys.
What's up, dude? Going? So y'all, this is my buddy Scott. This is my cousin Mike, his daughter Michelle. They live in Pennsylvania. Scott's from Pittsburgh.
Hey Scott.
So
how you doing?
Born and raised, big time Steeler fan. So Mike and Michelle live up outside of Philly.
I hear that.
Ah, okay. Wow.
Yeah, they're in Reading, so that's right out there, right outside of Philly there.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, we've been talking about kind of the struggles of the offense, how good the defense looked, but really the struggles of the offense is really the crux. What is happening with Mike? Yeah. So that's really kind of the issue.
Matt Canada hasn't changed a thing since last year.
No, we were talking about that. We were like, the dude has changed nothing. Like, he doesn't look... Yeah.
Like, Mitch Sunday didn't look great. Like, I was reading stats like 5 minutes ago. I'll pull them up. So half of his throws traveled 5 yards or fewer. 9 were thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage. 7 were thrown 20-plus yards in the air, and 2 of those were completed. And he had 3 attempts over 30 yards, and he missed all 3 by 3 or more yards. So
yep.
He's got to get some, he's got to be blamed for that a little.
He said he had 9 throws at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Wow. My gosh.
Part of it's play calling, but even Pickens was wide open.
Yeah, that's
2 or 3 times on the
Yeah, see, I missed that. I missed the third quarter, so I missed that part. So we were just talking about that he overthrew Pickens, that he overthrew Boykin.
Yep.
because we had forgotten Miles Boykin was even on the team. But I didn't see the Pickens overthrow. But I saw Pickens' box score. He had 1 catch for 3 yards, and I was like, all righty then.
That's not going to cut it, no.
Yeah.
And he's not a possession guy. Like, get him downfield.
No, he's the stretch the field guy. Let's get him the ball in some space. Right. Let him stretch get him over the top to get those safeties back. Because as long as our offensive line is this bad and those safeties are staying in the box, Najee had 23 yards on 10 carries.
That's another thing.
Scott, the dude had 4 carries in the first half. Like, how does a running back in the NFL even do anything with only 4 carries?
It's the run schemes, too. I mean, they'll throw out, 2 tight end sets, and it'll be 2nd and 10. I don't know what that is.
We'll bring in, an extra tight end, and they'll lose a yard. And I'm like, how did that happen?
One more jet.
You know why, though? They bring in an extra tight end, but they just run it up the middle, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly. I can.
Right.
I don't think there's anything good to say about the offense Sunday. A couple splash plays.
It was. Now I did say this. Mitch had no turnovers. Yeah, I got you, Mike. So I did say Mitch had no turnovers, so that's a good thing. Like we were talking earlier, Scott, how I just know in my heart that Ben would have thrown a pick in overtime or late in that game, just trying to do something, trying to make a play, and boom, the Ben pick. At the end zone at the end of the half, Ben would scramble, throw it away, and we'll kick a field goal. No, Ben throws a pick in the end zone. It's like you just so Mitch not turning the ball over, I thought was big time, like big time. Mike's having tech issues. Yeah.
I guess.
So let me ask you this, Scott. We were talking about this right before you got on. Like when you saw the depth chart right before week 1 and Mason Rudolph was listed at 2nd, did you notice that?
Yeah, I Mason Rudolph is not good. I say that, but
he's not good.
Shocked. I wasn't shocked. Going on the road.
Can't hear anybody.
Yeah.
Against your rival, I wouldn't necessarily want Kenny out there, even if he is better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a tough situation. Mahomes was 3rd to start. For 2 or 3 weeks, they kind of eased him in. There's no need to rush Kenny, even though he's.
No, I agree, and the line's so bad that I wouldn't want the kid running out there getting killed.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I mean, because we were saying earlier, normally you take the snap from the shotgun, you go through your progressions, and then maybe a check down if nothing's there. But Mitch has no time at all to go through any progressions. He's like, I got one read, and then I either got to run or dump it.
Well, I was thinking about that today too, and I haven't rewatched anything from Sunday, but do you think our line's that bad, or do you think it has to do with Matt Canada's play calling?
A little of both.
There is a lot. Yeah, I don't think just on paper, if you look at our line, I don't think they're the worst unit in the NFL, but they play it.
Sorry, I lost you guys there for a while. Sorry about that.
You're all good, Mike. I think it's a little of both, Scott. I think that's a good point. I think it's a little of both.
It's just there's been a lot of times Chooks will pull. I don't know why he did pull Chooks. That's not where he excels.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pulling Chooks, man.
Yeah, I noticed it a couple times Sunday, but just things like
he's not a pulling tackle. He's tall. He's got long arms.
You want a left tackle?
Yeah, right tackle.
Right tackle, yeah.
Yeah. But see, Chooks got those long arms, and you want those tackles using their length.
Set an edge. Right. It's always
set the edge. But if you're pulling him...
They'll make a move, and it just stuff like that. That's why I think our line's not as good as,
No, and it could be.
Defense was great. Yeah, you said it earlier, Scott. There's really no difference in last year and the year before. Canada was there last year, and then what's his name was there 2 years ago? The one that retired.
Fichtner,
yeah, Randy Fichtner or whatever. same plays.
Whatever.
But you know when Fichtner retired, remember we were like, and Pittsburgh always promotes within, no matter what. They always promote from within. So I was like, they're going to promote the damn quarterback's coach, who's going to run the same plays and call the same formations and the same thing, and it's exactly the same. Exactly.
It's bad.
There's no difference. Lock your screen, Mike. Lock the screen and then just set the phone up straight up and down. Michelle, you're gonna start going home and being his tech guy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So it was having all that stuff that went wrong offensively, and the fact that we won that game is big time in my opinion. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the dancing in the locker room and all the hooting and yelling and cutting up and all that, all that stuff. I was like, we should have gotten out of there, gotten on the bus and gone home and be happy that we escaped Cincinnati with that win, which we did win. You never would guessed it by the way we've been talking, but we did win the game.
5 turnovers. How many sacks? 7.
I mean, I was on
didn't win that game.
We were on FaceTime, like watching the game live, and like I remember towards the end of the game, I was like, we've turned this team over 5 times, and it's going to take us 5 full quarters to win the game, and we turned them over 5 times. 5.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And Minka ran one back. Otherwise, we lose the game.
You're right. That's true. That's true. That's a pick 6.
Yeah.
One less turnover, and we would have lost. So kudos to the defense. Like they're like, all right, offense is going to do nothing, so it's on us today, fellas. And they answered the bell. I mean, heck, even Devin Bush had a decent game.
Yeah, maybe he's back.
You know who nobody's talking about? Had one heck of a game, and nobody's really even talking about it.
Highsmith?
Is Alex Highsmith. 3 sacks.
He had 3 sacks he had.
He was insane.
That guy's a beast, man.
Forget about that. He had a heck of a game. Did.
Well, it's on him now because TJ's out. So
really good. Like nobody really thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Highsmith now
because
TJ's out for 6-7 games. So it's going to be what's his name? Reed and Mike's out. It's going to be Reed and then Highsmith. They're going to be the pass rushers.
Yeah, and then Tuska, I guess, will get pulled up.
I thought they got rid of him.
That's what I thought too.
They got rid of him, but I don't know if he's on the practice squad or not. I mean, we're gonna need another pass rusher.
We are gonna need another pass rusher. That's a fact. I thought Cam Hayward had a really good game. I mean, that guy doesn't have many bad games.
No,
the fact he's still, the fact that he's still as dominant as a defensive interior lineman at his age, as long as he's been doing it. I mean, that's a credit to him because that's a tough position to play when you're getting up in your 30s.
Yeah, it's still going though. Jameer Jones, that's
him.
That's the kind of third edge rusher, I guess, right now. So maybe we don't sign someone or promote someone. But.
They did sign Ryan Anderson. I don't know if you saw that, Scott.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Today.
Michelle, Ryan Anderson played at Alabama a few years ago. So.
Really, I did see that they signed him, but I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he was on the Bama's championship team in 15, and then the one they lost in 16.
Mm-hmm.
Scott went to Alabama, so that's the connection there. So that's what made me bring that up.
Yeah.
You see that, Mike? That we signed Ryan Anderson? I'm going to take that as a yes. Michelle, call Mike on the phone and ask him what the hell is going on there.
He's a bad.
I told him to use your mom's MacBook, but I guess I don't know if he's getting bad service in his office or what.
He said I'll mess things up on her computer.
How was happy hour, Scott?
It's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, happy hour. It's a requisite. You got to have some brown liquor on this show. Shout out to Nick and Pete,
Crazy.
ATG Cast, Podcast The Wills.
Beer. That's it. Came home.
Yeah, so who we got this week? We got New England at home. Now, I don't know why we have to play the Patriots every single year for the last 15 straight years. But I'm tired of playing the Patriots, so maybe we'll actually beat them this time.
I think we got them. I mean,
yeah, we should.
We might finish third in that division or last. I don't know.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. They have no talent on offense anywhere. Damian Harris, maybe.
Damian Harris and Stevenson's okay. I mean, they have decent running backs, but they're not dynamic. And I mean, Mac Jones doesn't have a.
We should win that game. I mean, we should get pressure on Mac Jones and hopefully getting his grill. I don't know. We should win this game. We should win this game. I don't know what the line is. Do you know what the line is? Have you seen the line? Have they done the line yet?
It's -1, I think, New England.
Okay. I mean, we should win that game. At home, home opener.
We should.
Crappy new stadium name. We should win that game.
I will pull up right now what that line is. But
what did Mike say, Michelle?
He said he doesn't know what he's doing. He said it's cutting out, and he said it just keeps cutting out every time he goes in.
I wonder if is he on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but he's on
not losing.
Mike, come on! Will you come on?
Because he's on his iPhone.
Come on!
His iPhone 3.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that's right. Mike's running iOS 8.4. No wonder.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It was working.
Scott
I don't know what
vanished.
happened.
There he is.
No, but, yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah. Well, it's I thought Harvin had some decent punts. He kicked one off his shin one time, but I thought he actually had some decent punts compared to last year. My gosh. I mean, he got benched last year he was inactive for 3 games last year.
Yeah, he was.
That Jordan Berry was in there. I said, no,
Dude.
no more, ever,
No.
ever.
he has
Soda now,
not
I
a
think.
little too long.
Jordan Berry, get out of here.
I agree.
So Scott, Mike and Michelle have gone to his training camp last couple of years up in Latrobe.
yeah.
They met.
They were going to there?
They got some autographs and they got some cool pictures and stuff there. And Michelle's got a great picture with Juju from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Before Fichtner turned him into our starting running back.
TJ Watt.
Right.
Yeah, TJ Watt. Everybody you guys meet gets injured. So can you stop going, please?
The big top tunnel.
Oh, is that Harvin?
There's Harvin there.
Yeah.
That's Harvin.
Punsy Harvin, whatever his name is.
He's a big boy.
Pumpy Harvin, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back there
Hi.
at some point here. I mean, they haven't
Now,
done
you-
it
Going there?
first time in a couple years, but last time I went, I was
Yeah.
probably 15.
Well, we went.
So 10
Oh,
years
okay.
ago.
I've never been. I'm gonna try to go next year.
We went 3 years ago, and then of course, yeah, you would really love it. I'm telling you. It's
So how often do you get back up to
It's just
Pittsburgh, Scott? Do
really
you
neat.
do you get up there a lot? Do you still have family there?
Yeah, my parents still live there, so holidays,
Yeah.
I'll pick a couple other times during the year just to go up for whatever.
Mike and
Try to
Michelle
make it-
actually went to the Ben's last home game last year. I was supposed to
Oh,
go,
really?
Yeah.
but travel
Hear
plans,
me
and
now?
I bought it. Yeah, I can hear you, and he's gone. So I set up this whole trip and bought the tickets and got the hotel room and just set this whole trip up for all of us to go. And then at the very end, I couldn't go, so I got to watch them take this trip that I put together. And while I was sitting in my house,
I was actually.
Mike said it was really warm though. He said it was super warm. They all sweated that night.
Weird.
Oh.
I went to the Pens game.
My God. We were sitting.
You went to a Penguins game?
Yeah, the night before, and then I was gonna go to the Steelers game the next day, but I booked the flight, and it was 50 degrees the day of the Pens game. It's so weird.
Yeah, I was seeing pictures of them at that Steeler game, and it was 15 degrees that night. Wind chill was like 0.
It was bad.
They were in the upper deck. Mike was like, I was sick for 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, he came home the next day. He drove home and he had a fever. He was sick as a dog.
Mike, that's how Mike is on every trip home from anywhere.
Yeah, he told me stories.
Oh, that reminds me of 2004. We were like 15.
Finn's rookie year. Yeah, his rookie year.
The Patriots in the conference championship at Heinz Field. It was -2 degrees.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was at the 04 game. That was a game where, like, Brady screwed us in the Orange Bowl with Michigan versus Bama. And then he goes to the Patriots, and he screws us in 2001 when we lost at home in the Drew Bledsoe game, in the Cordell Stewart game. And then he screwed us again in 2004 when we were 15-1 and got smoked in that home championship game. Where Ben threw a couple picks. I think Ty Law pick-sixed him.
Yeah, it was like 28-3 in the first half.
Yeah.
2 degrees. All the Yinzers were out, shirtless, drinking. Party didn't stop.
The Yinzers. I love that. They're all out shirtless.
That. I've never been that cold in my life. Definitely.
That's like the Buffalo. That's like Bills Mafia, man. They go up there like it's July and it's November and it's -6 degrees, and you'd think they were going to Panama City. They're like in shorts, no shirt, just hooting and yelling,
Crazy.
nothing, no gloves. Lord of mercy. And like Mike and my cousin Lou, we were sitting like 5 rows behind these guys, and we're like 4 layers of clothes just trying to stay warm. And these guys are just down there hooting and yelling, no shirts, the entire game. I'm just like, holy crow, man.
Yeah, hey,
that thick blood, man. I got that thick blood up in Buffalo. That was long before you in this world, Michelle.
You have to. Yeah.
The night before, we went to the Bills-Patriots game because my other cousin Lou used to live in Syracuse, which is kind of close to Buffalo, driving distance to Buffalo. And so we go stay at his house in Syracuse. And the night before, we go to this somewhere just to get some last-minute things. And Mike buys a New England Patriots ear warmer. I don't think he knew what it was. I think he realized it was Patriots. I think he just bought it. And then the next day, we were at the game, and like throughout the game, we're cheering for Buffalo just because it was fun to cheer for the home team in that stadium. And Mike's got that Patriots headband on.
I'm cheering.
I was like, dude, you better turn that thing inside out or get rid of it. So he turned it inside out, so he just had that headband on. You remember that guy smoking that cigar?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
There was a guy about 3 rows in front of us that smoked a cigar for probably 3.5 quarters of that entire game. He was sucking on that dang cigar. Mike was so mad, I thought he was going to fight the guy. I thought he was going to go down there and fight him.
I could just see him
I stared the whole game. I was looking at him.
No, the entire game, Mike was just sitting there like this.
Come on. Look at him. He
was so mad. That guy was just, he was like, that cigarette smelled like ass too. And probably 3/4 he was sucking on that dang cigar. Or not cigarette, but cigar. But yeah, it was just cold weather football, man. There's nothing like it.
Nothing like
Ain't nothing like it. And I've never been so sad and heartbroken to not be freezing my ass off as I had when I had to miss that game.
Yeah, that was. I really wish I would have thought about it more and just went. But
although the fact you went to the Pens game, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
We're big Flyers fans. Don't ask me how we're Philly, and then Pittsburgh. I'm not sure how that worked out, but we're Flyers. We're Flyers folks. Mike likes the Sixers and the Phillies. I don't have anything for either one of them, but I'm Steelers, Flyers, Yankees. So when you live in Alabama, you're like a free agent. You can kind of you don't have to have any loyalty anywhere. Like pick and choose. My dad went to the Steelers-Rams Super Bowl in 1980 in the Rose Bowl for the '79 season, and he brought me back like a pennant from that game. And stuff. So I've kind of liked the Steelers since I was a kid, because my dad, went to the Super Bowl, a big Steeler fan. So that's why I kind of started liking them. And then, Yankees, I like Derek Jeter. And then the Flyers, I really wasn't a big hockey guy. I liked Mario Lemieux, but that was really the only hockey I really knew. And then in 1996, I went up to visit, And they gave me a whole bunch of Flyers gear, like a Lindros jersey and a Flyers hat and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get flyered up. Why not? And so I've liked the Flyers ever since then, and they've broken my heart many times since then. Dude, I bought plane tickets to fly up there to watch the Stanley Cup Finals in 2000 with them because we were up 3-1 on the Devils, and I bought a plane ticket, and we lost 3 games in a row. And the Devils went to the finals, and I flew up there anyway because I already had the ticket, and then we're just sitting there watching the game on TV like I can't believe I'm out $400 on a plane ticket, and they lost 3 straight games.
Flyers are tough, man. I mean, I'm like a diehard.
I haven't been tough in a while, but yeah, I was a big Lindros guy. Like, that was my dude. I got all Lindros jerseys, man. I got every one of them.
Flyers. I mean, they're worst luck ever. Finally get like a high pick in the draft, and he gets headaches. Patrick.
Yeah, and he's a migraine sufferer. He's gone in 2 years. See ya.
I'm happy.
How you like? And then the year Patrick Kane for the Blackhawks got drafted. Guess who picked second that year? The Flyers. So we missed Patrick Kane by 1 pick. We took James Van Riemsdyk that year.
Oh yeah.
But we could have had Patrick Kane if we'd have gotten the first pick that year. We could have had Patrick Kane. And then he won 3 cups with the Blackhawks, so he can kiss my butt. I just want 1 Stanley Cup. That's all. That's not too much to ask, right? Tampa Bay has a dynastic hockey team. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that drives me mad. My uncle, he's a season ticket holder for the Pens, and he'll travel for the playoffs and stuff. And
yeah.
He said that is one of the lamest hockey towns around just because I'm sure it's probably better now that they're winning so much, but middle of Florida,
middle of Florida,
like the
whatever.
Shut down, but there was only 15 people out. It was wild.
Oh, man. So you feeling pretty good about Sunday?
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Mo?
Pretty good. I mean, if we don't win, how are we not going to beat New England?
This is when we got to get them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, this is when we got to get them. Like they're like this we got to get them and run them out. But Pittsburgh doesn't blow anybody out.
No, exactly.
So I don't know. I don't know what Tomlin does all week. I don't see a whole lot of changes from week to week. You're like, okay, this didn't work. They'll go all week and they'll make some changes, and we'll come out with a little bit, maybe some different formations, try a little something. But it's always the same. It's the same everything. And I said this earlier, Scott. Like, they run that jet sweep with Claypool all the time. They love that jet sweep with Claypool, jet sweep right. But they never fake it. Like fake it and then have somebody leaking out, like Najee leaking out or something, and and like almost teardrop it to him or just dump it to him because they never fake that jet sweep. So everybody commits to the sweep. So I think a fake would be open there. That's just me. I think a fake play action or some kind.
I was talking to my brother about this yesterday, and just that's supposed to be the wrinkle in our offense, and when you run it 6 times the exact same way every game, it's on tape for the rest of the year.
With the same guy.
What it looks like, exactly when it's coming. Like, something needs to change. It never will.
Yeah.
This is the exact game that we could absolutely go and win, but
just mix in a play action or something.
Yeah,
it's
rough. This offense is just
it's hard to watch this offense. I keep telling myself maybe it's like a 2 or 3 year progress as they build the line and build the skill positions and get Pickett. Once Kenny Pickett kind of becomes the guy, like maybe this is a progression into a decent offense. But it's hard watching Steeler games when we have the ball. I'm just not gonna lie. That doesn't mean I don't, because I watch every game. I'm not going anywhere, but it's very difficult to watch Steelers play offense.
Oh, 3rd and 8 and we throw it.
Yeah.
We never throw it past the sticks.
Ever! Thank you! Thank you!
Or
Thank
it's
you!
out. and we just step out. And now it's 4th and 2. We still have to punt.
I swear, Scott, me and Mike and Michelle have been screaming that for years. I mean, it'll be 3rd and 2, and somehow we'll do a 1 yard out, and it'll be 4th and 1. Like,
it's insane. I saw a graphic of Mitch Trubisky and his throws to Deontay Johnson, and he did not throw a single ball over the middle to him Sunday. Probably the most dynamic player on our offense.
But, Deontay runs backwards. Every time he catches the ball, he runs backwards.
Drives me nuts. He does do that.
I'm like screaming. It'd be like, and all he has to do is fall down and he gets the first down and he runs 3 yards backwards. And by the way, that we lost that challenge. That was a freaking first down. I don't care what anybody tells me. The ball was in his right hand and he steps out of bounds on the right side of the first down marker.
Yeah.
How was that not a first down?
Yeah, that was absolutely a first.
And they challenged it, they reviewed it, and said the play stands.
Yeah.
What?
It's horrible. I mean,
officiating
now, the slow-mo is just ruining it. I feel like.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, not to bring Alabama into it, but, I mean, they freeze-framed Bryce Young on the ground and like an inch of his ankle just scraping the ground in the end zone.
Yeah.
They're like, it should have been a safety. And it's like, no one would have saw that, but you zoomed in 300 times and then slow-moed it.
And do it frame by frame, frame by frame, frame by frame.
But anyway, just thought I'd throw that in. But,
referees are a dying breed.
Yeah.
They pay him enough. Why are all these referees, this is their second job? Those referees make coin. So if I'm making that kind of cheese, I'm not doing jack squat but refereeing. I mean, the guy's like, oh yeah, he's a lawyer in the off season. What? Like the guy was reading the deposition 20 minutes before the game started. I'm like, give me a break. Whatever. I don't know. The refereeing is terrible, but it's not as terrible as our offense.
No, nothing's quite that bad.
Nothing's quite that bad. But every week I'm like, okay, this is the week that they figure something out. That they put that wrinkle in there that gets them a first down in the second half.
Yeah.
Dude, Scott, we had 60 yards total in the second half. Total.
I'm not glad I heard that. I was kind of optimistic, but
that's how I sent them a text this morning and said, here's a stat to start your day. The Steelers had 66 yards of total offense in the second half. Have a nice day.
It's horrible. And we shouldn't be. We have every piece to at least be decent. I don't expect us to be, score points with the Chiefs or anything. I think our defense is good enough to keep us in a game with them, but they gotta be better than they are.
If we can stay upright, Good news about TJ though; he's only going to miss 6 weeks or 7 weeks, maybe half the season.
Yeah, great.
Which is fine. I'd rather have him for if we're in the race, if we're in the playoff race, I'd rather have him good like week 13, 14, 15, and 16 as we coming down the home stretch. If we're in the mix now, if we're out of it, they just need to let him heal. If we're out of it, but if we're like 1-7 when he comes back, if we lose like the next 7 games when he comes back, I don't know that I'd run him out there then. But if we're sort of still in the mix, then I would definitely do that.
Our schedule kind of gets tough for a couple weeks there.
Yeah.
Around
usually
right
that's
after
how it always works.
So it'd be nice if we could get them after the bye against the Saints.
When is our bye week this year? 9? Week 9, I think.
9, yeah. I was just gonna say, I don't know.
Yeah, I know it was right around halfway point.
Yeah,
that's a great point. The week after the bye week, that should be a good target for him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Is the week after the bye week? I'd like to see that. What the hell happened to Mike?
Bills.
I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with that, Scott. So anyway, we should be 2-0 when we do this show next week, we should be sitting at 2-0, top of the division, unless Cleveland wins and Baltimore wins. But Baltimore's going to be tough, man. Baltimore's always tough. They had a bad year last year, but they were still a tough out.
Yeah, their defense is always good.
Well, they got Linderbaum, that center. That's who I wanted us to draft in the first round this year, was him.
Yeah.
I thought we could have gotten Pickett in round 3, but that's why I'm sitting in Montgomery, and they're getting paid millions of dollars to run an NFL team, and I'm sitting in my playroom in my house watching the Yankees game, not making any money. So, listen to me. I know what's right.
I mean, hey, it was a great story. Made us all feel good for a few moments, but I don't think it was the right
thing. But the big thing to me is that Mitch didn't turn the ball over. So if he's average at best and doesn't turn the ball over a lot, I mean, that's fine with me. Like, okay, I can live with that. But we've got to mix up the running plays. We've got to put a wrinkle in there, something, a misdirection, play action, like something. But the sprint draw up the middle, the Alabama running playbook, one run up the middle. I call it the Bill O'Brien philosophy. Like, I would like to move off of one running play and actually mix it up. I mean, am I drunk, Michelle, or do we have one running play?
No, we have one.
Yes, I'm drunk, but do we just have one running play or not?
Straight down the middle, it's one.
Yeah, it's wild.
No wonder Najee pissed off. He's like, as soon as he gets the ball, he's like...
And he can't go anywhere. He just runs right through the ball.
There's nothing he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me and Scott watched this dude for 4 years in space, hurdle guys, stiff arm guys, run the route tree. And Pittsburgh cannot get him into space. It's baffling to me.
Yeah.
That we cannot design something to get him in space. Whether it's catching, whether it's a draw play, whether it's anything, they cannot get him into space. It drives me nuts. And he's go watch, Michelle. I know you didn't watch Alabama football, but go watch the SEC championship game from 2020 versus Florida, and watch Najee Harris in that game, and then you decide if he can do damage in open space.
I already know.
Go to YouTube, watch the condensed version of that game, and watch Najee. I mean, if it wasn't for Smitty, Najee would have won the Heisman that night.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Devontae Smith. But, I mean, Najee destroyed Florida in that game. So, don't pay attention to the Alabama defense in that game if you go watch it. Just watch the offense.
Yeah, don't watch the defense.
Don't watch the defensive performance. It was brutal. Watch the offense if you want to see what Najee can do in space. You saw a little bit in that Notre Dame game that Mike was talking about. I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah, I've seen highlights of Najee.
Yes. 2020 versus Florida is the game you need to go watch. He slaughtered Florida that night. He had 5 touchdowns that game. Catching, running. I mean, he was unstoppable. And I'm like, get him into space, please. Please.
Why can't he be like that here? It's not his fault, though. It's not.
No. See, and he's taking a lot of flack because he's not producing 6 yards a carry and 150 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. But he had 10 carries. I mean, NFL running backs can't do damage with 10 carries. They need to get the ball 20. You need to give them 20 runs in an NFL game, in my opinion.
You could tell he's frustrated, though, too.
Yeah.
He's frustrated.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, any Jonathan Taylor, any of these elite, Derrick Henry, any of these elite backs get 20 carries a game minimum. Mm-hmm. Give King Henry 25 carries, you're going to get 100, 120 yards because he's going to bust one, or he's just going to average. He had 21 carries for I think 85 yards in that game Sunday, and everybody was keying on him. Everybody on the field.
Saquon Barkley had he had me like 40 fantasy points.
Yeah. Out of nowhere, Barkley didn't squat, and all of a sudden he burst back on the scene. Yeah. Like, Najee's got it in him. We saw glimpses last year. The game you were at, that last home game, Najee went off that game.
Yeah.
Because they got him in space.
Yeah.
They actually got him in space. And this offense is not conducive to getting the running back in space. It's 4 plays, it seems like. All the same formations.
Because once Najee breaks loose, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like 4-3 like Tyreek Hill, but he's fast enough that he can chunk out a 50 or 60-yard run.
Yeah.
You know, that was never his strong suit at Bama was breakaway speed. You know, that wasn't what he did. He did everything else, and then he could, if he got the lane, he could get a big chunk. But not when the second you get the ball, you're already hitting the face.
Yeah.
So I hope they can clean that up.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I don't know what happened to Mike. I guess whatever. Mike out. I don't know if his phone crapped out or it's probably died or something. But
figure it out.
When are you going home again, Michelle? So you can set up a studio.
I know. I need to.
Or tell him to buy an iPad. iPads are cheap as crap now. He can just buy an old iPad just strictly to sit on his desk.
Yeah, he should. I'm gonna try to have him figure out the MacBook. 'Cause that's another thing for him to learn is the MacBook.
That's a whole nother thing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, my final wrap up for week 1 was clearly the offense is in dire need of work. The defense, we gave up like 430 yards, which is a little bit high, but that was an extra quarter, and that was Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I think, considering who we were playing, where, I thought the defense looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially when
they looked physical. TJ Watt's got that play down to a T where he fakes the rush and then just stands back and either jumps up and tips it or jumps up and just picks the ball out of the air. He's really gotten that play down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's an animal. We're going to miss him. But,
I think we got enough good talent, enough speed on defense that if we can, if he misses 7 games, say, and we can go 4-3, and then come out 5-4 out of his injury, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
I think if we're above 500 when he comes off his injury, or even at 500, I think we'll be okay. If we're 2-3 games under, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Hopefully, I don't think we'll be 2 or 3 games under, even as bad as the offense looks. I think we'll be okay. But anyway, that's
Minka took over Sunday, so he keeps playing like that.
Minka had 14 tackles. You know that?
14 tackles.
14 tackles. He had 10 solo, 4 assists, 4 assisted, a pick 6. He was all over the place. And he got 2 birds from Jamar Chase. Did you see that picture, Scott?
Yeah.
And it was like how it started, and it was showing him flicking off, and like how it's going, and it was showing Minka block that kick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was on fire.
Yeah, he had a great game.
He was under their skin. I loved it. Joe Mixon
I'll say.
At him in the end zone.
On
the ground. It was great.
Yeah, if they didn't call Minka for roughing, they called Minka like 5 times in a row for being too rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And then the last one that he hit the guy in the end zone, you see him, he looked at the referee and like threw his arms up like, you going to throw the flag on this one too?
It was pretty similar to the play before. I'm actually surprised
he
didn't.
I guess you can't put your shoulder in a guy's chest anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, especially contested ball.
The
ball beat Minka.
That's what they're supposed to do. If the guy catches it, you're supposed to blow him up.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
Knock the ball loose. Not back up out of his way. You're supposed to Ronnie Lott him. Y'all are too young to remember Ronnie Lott, but yeah, you're supposed to blow him up. Like, okay, you should Cam Chancellor him there. That's a better reference. Y'all will get that one.
Poor Mason. We're too hard on him. Or no,
we're too hard.
Earl
What's
Thomas?
that? Earl Thomas.
Mason Rudolph. Earl Thomas.
And then Myles Garrett swung his helmet at him.
Jeez, yeah. I'm surprised he's still playing. He got.
That was an iconic moment. I'll never forget watching that live.
Yeah.
Just sitting there going.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, did he just swing his helmet at somebody?
That was
that's
good
nuts.
TV.
That's great TV. Nothing like sports. Sports is the best reality TV going. So I'm all about that.
Oh yeah,
So,
love it.
This has been fun. Michelle, I know it's late for you. It's like 9:45 for you up in Kutztown. Scott, I don't know what in Tennessee. Are you on Eastern time up there?
No, we're Central.
Central, okay. So it's not so bad for you. So, but man, thank y'all. We're looking forward to this for next week for week 2. If you guys are down with this, I'll do this every week for every game. 17 weeks, hopefully into the playoffs. So I'm good with that. So thank y'all again for joining us. Anybody that watched, the one person that watched, or maybe 2 people watched, I don't know. Please like and subscribe to the content. And go find us on Twitter, on Instagram at CouchcastersPod. I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate the 2 of you joining me. Mike, if you can hear me, love you, dude. Thanks for joining us for whatever times you were here. And we will see you guys next week. Go Steelers, baby. Here we go.
Here we go.
Peace.